morning, Sainers. Welcome back to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Welcome back to another episode of Saints TV Weekly, Monday, May 2nd. We're back talking about Saints footy, talking about the news at Moorabbin, and unfortunately we'll kick off the show with some bad news, although it is good news. Inglewood coffee, freshly brewed this morning, so go on over to inglewoodcoffeeroasters.com.au, use the discount code SAINTS30 at 30% off all the delicious Inglewood coffee products. A little plug there for them, of course, but straight into the game. Saturday night footy, Cairns, Kazali Stadium. We took on Port Adelaide. We were 5-1. They were 1-5. They won by a point. It was an ugly, dour affair that I will not watch the replay to because it's just not worth it. We started pretty well out of the blocks, and then from the second quarter onwards, I think we kicked 1 goal 15, and they kicked a couple of goals late, and a point from Robbie Gray, who loves to haunt us, and they got up by a point. So, my review's up already, so you can go and watch that. But the main sort of takeout of the game was obviously our inaccuracy, 4-18, which is just disgraceful. But more so, a lot of question marks from a lot of different people about, was it really worth the club selling the game, going up there early, like a holiday on Tuesday, which I thought was a good idea to get up there early, more for training purposes, not to go and, do little things here and there for the area. But I know that's something that the club loves to do, and I'm happy with that. But someone like Kane Corns, I believe, came out yesterday on the Sunday Footy Show, and his famous volcano was directed at the Saints. He said the big volcano is for the Saints, who haven't won a premiership in 56 years. They're 5-1 going into this game, and I'm telling you, there's no way they lose this game at Marvel Stadium. They're not kicking 4 goals 18 at Marvel. Why are they selling games when the price of playing finals and winning premierships surely outweighs the dollar figure for that? That is exactly what I think. Corn's comments found support from Matthew Lloyd as well. Lloydie said the quality of games in Ballarat, the wind, can we remember a good game in Ballarat? Cairns, Darwin, the games in Shanghai, New Zealand, can anyone remember one good game? Even games in Canberra, at times I've asked the question. Well, it's great for fans to share the game around, and it's good for clubs to earn money. It's hard to remember a quality game. So I completely agree with those two. I don't usually agree with someone like Kane Corns, but 100% I agree. We did not need to sell this game. I know that we need to earn the money, we're in debt, but we're on the improve, and wins gets you more than what that can give you. And I completely agree with Kane and Lloydo. There are not many games where you can remember that we're really good in those areas. And on Saturday night prime time, especially off the back of playing in Canberra and then going and playing in Cairns, maybe break it up AFL. They had to put it back to back. And I don't know, I just feel like if this was at Marvel, it could have been a different story. But it is what it is. We lost by 1 point. It was in Cairns. We get a bit of money, so hey, we cut the debt there, but we go 5-2 instead of being 6-1, which is a bit disappointing. But we're 4th on the ladder. That's the end result. We actually went up a spot on the ladder thanks to Brisbane's win against Sydney. Percentage has put Sydney below us, and we've gone up into 4th position. So it'll be 1st v 4th on Sunday, Saints and Melbourne. It's going to be big. In terms of other news, saw an interesting article pop up, and it was in regards to a chat between Ross Lyon and Jay Clark on Triple M on the Sunday Rub. And I did tweet about this yesterday. I noticed Jay Clark, he dropped the old follow on the Saints TV Twitter account, so I don't know why he's done that. He hasn't responded to my tweet, but got his attention nonetheless, which is great. But yeah, it was in regards to Brett Ratten's contract. He's up at the end of the year. He's only got the 3-year deal, and that ends at the end of this season. And no word of re-signing him just yet, which is absolutely fine. I mean, we're only in round 7. You're not going to jump the gun on it yet. We're 5-2, going well, but there's no rush. He's not in demand, as a lot of people have said. He's not going to be poached. You take your time. I'm sure he's comfortable with where he's at. We love him. The players love him. No issues there. But of course, the media love to just create a little bit of, just stir the pot a little bit. And I love that Ross Lyon kind of stood up for Rats, and Jay Clark kind of just brought up Does anyone here think that St Kilda should continue to hold off talks with Brett Ratton? Or do you think a decision potentially around the halfway point of the season, which is the mid-season bye, in about a month's time, there will be enough for St Kilda to extend the contract for Brett Ratton? Or should they be waiting till the end of the year, particularly to see what happens with Clarkson and Buckley? And then Ross Lyon just jumps in and he goes, they're 5-2. They've had a loss up there against Port Adelaide that they could easily have won. And I understand why we need to talk about it, but my personal opinion is clubs at some point have got to get into the habit of, you've signed a 3-year deal, let him go. He's got 3 years, just let it go. You don't need to worry about it. But Jay Clark just kind of kept pushing the question, and we're a team at 5-2. Why is there any attention being brought to Brett Ratton's contract? We're 5-2. We're in the top 4. We've played some of the best football this season. We dropped a game that we should have won. And round 1, we were surprised by Collingwood. Every other performance has been great. The one loss, and Jay Clark reckons that he would have brought this up even if we had have won. I completely disagree. He wanted to create something out of nothing because we lost and the way that we lost. And I think he wanted to stir the pot and create some debate that would have taken the airwaves by storm and gotten into the papers, and Brett Ratton's under pressure, blah, blah, blah. Even the AFL analysis, the article from Sophie someone, I can't remember the lady's name, but it was about they better book the boardroom on Monday morning at RSCA Park because they've got a lot to talk about after that loss to Port Adelaide. How can they recover from that? That's what the article was. And I'm just thinking they're going, well, we could probably just kick straight. That's probably the only part of the game that really cost us on the weekend. The rest was just a slog. It's an ugly game. It's like playing in a downpour. You're not going to have skills like we used to. And we had 25 shots on goal and kicked 4 goals. That's probably the issue there. If you actually watch the game, you'd know. But again, they wanted to pounce on a loss and they wanted to make something out of nothing. But I tweeted Jay Clark, told him it was nonsense, and he's since followed the Saints TV Twitter account, waiting for a response. I don't really care, but I needed to stand up for the club, and I just thought that was just stupid coverage. I love that Ross, the boss, also stood up for the club, and they kind of recognised that that's just a silly thing to talk about, and why are you even bringing up Brett Ratton? Worry about some of the other coaches at the bottom of the ladder. Let's talk about Simpson and see how he's going at West Coast, That's the focus, not someone that's 5-2 and coaching a top 4 team at the moment. In other news as well, the fixture updates came out. So round 12, 13, 14, 15 came out. I'll quickly go through them now. I know the club posted them, but I'll quickly give you a rundown. Round 13, Saturday Night Football at the Gabba. Prime time, Channel 7. All of these are Channel 7, which is amazing for anyone that doesn't have Foxtel or KO. Saturday, 11th of June, 7:25pm at the Gabba. Then round 14, we've got Friday Night Football against the Bombers, 7:50 Marvel Stadium, 17th of June. And then the 25th of June, Saturday night again at the SCG against Sydney, Pride round. Big game there. So there's some big games involved, Brisbane and Sydney being the main two. But it's great to see that based on our first part of the season and our form, we've pulled together, the 3 primetime games against 3 big clubs. And it will all be very big games for our season. So that's great to see. And hopefully we can continue that good form going into next week against Melbourne. And then when the rest of the fixture is released, we can get some even bigger games, more prime time. Hopefully more Friday nights would be good. And then that can hopefully bring some much needed revenue. And we don't have to go selling games to Cairns, Sainers. We can just, win games and that makes us money. That's probably the way it should go. So that's a good starting point, is getting 3 big primetime games against big clubs. In terms of Sandy news, they played yesterday and they got the Chocolates in a very comfortable 47-point win against Frankston. Great to see Jack Billings return and Zach Jones. 21 disposals, 5 tackles and a goal. For Billings, who played predominantly half forward, which is good on kind of reduced minutes. And Jones, he had 20 disposals in the opening half pretty much. Was spent primarily on ball before rotating through the half forward line in the second half. Ryan Burns was a key standout again. I think this is back-to-back best on grounds for him. He had a 25 disposal, 3 goal game, so there's no way he's not in the conversation to play Melbourne the way he's going. Even Jack Bytel stood up and had 16 disposals and 6 clearances, but it was hard to go past Ryan Burns, who was best on ground again. Mitch Owens played between forward line and midfield and kicked 2 goals. Max Heath was great in the ruck. Tom Highmore was solid down back with 20 possessions and 9 marks. So there's a lot of battle for spots this week. We're getting, there's a chance that Billings and Jones can come in, but obviously Ryan Burns is there. Tom Highmore for Melbourne could be very interesting, playing in that intercept role that could really help us in the back line. And then Ryan Burns on top of that, Bytel even. There's a lot of players there that are going to be looking to get a chance, especially against Melbourne in a big game on Sunday. So great response there for Sandy and really good solid efforts there across the board individually for the players. Now for my favourite part of the show, as you all know, question time. Let's get into the questions. This one's from Tate. How will we bounce back after last week? Are we in a bad spot? How do we bounce back? We kick straight, we get back to playing the way we play. It's hard to judge based on the conditions in Cairns, so I would put that one as a write-off and get back to Melbourne and play the way we play. Are we in a bad spot? No, I don't think we're in a bad spot. We're getting players back. We lost by 1 point, and we have 2 games against Geelong and Melbourne, or Melbourne and Geelong, sorry, and they're going to be awesome games, and hopefully we can pinch one or both of them. That would be unbelievable. George is asking, can we beat Melbourne? Yes, we can beat Melbourne. They were okay against Hawthorn. I know they're missing a few players, but that happens throughout every club this year. It's just how it's going to be. They got the job done, but they're not unbeatable. They're not. I don't look at them and like the Hawthorn teams, the Geelong teams of the past, the Brisbane Lions, 02, 03, 04. Those teams I was a bit afraid of playing. Melbourne, I'm not afraid of playing. That's no disrespect to Melbourne. They're a very good team. They'll probably beat us. Who knows? But they're not the scariest team going around. I think we can get them. Courtsy is asking, why are our supporters acting like the world has ended after one loss? Go Saints. Because we're emotional. That's probably the only answer. We get emotional. But yeah, on to that question. I did address yesterday a couple of comments that were directed at me and some of the players. That's not on, so we're going to be a bit harsher in the comments. So please, when you do comment, don't go personal, don't attack. Keep it civil and just talk about the boys in sort of a strategic way, on field stuff only. Don't get personal and poke fun. BK Chewy is asking, do we have to tag either Oliver or Petrarca to minimise their influence come Sunday? I don't think so. I think we just play head-to-head and go at them. And if it's a good day weather-wise, I think just go head-to-head and play our game and see what happens. Give them something to worry about. And lastly, Kai is asking, changes for next week. I think I just mentioned, hopefully Jack Billings will come in, Zach Jones, maybe Ryan Burns, but those two definitely. And then on the outs, it'll be someone like Winhager, who I think needs a bit of a rest. After that, Mason Wood would have been one, but he played a really good game. Would be probably Tom Campbell, obviously for Rowan Marshall as well, who we didn't talk about. He missed on the weekend. So those would be the main two. And then maybe someone like Lynott will be dropped from the emergencies, but we'll have to wait and see. Or even Dan Butler. He had 8 disposals, no goals. He's on the chopping block. And lastly, this is the last one, sorry. Tom is asking, how long have I supported the Mighty Saints for? Since pre-season 2004. Basically, at 3/4 time when we played Essendon in the semi-final of the Wizard Cup, I was with my uncle at the Greyhounds. I've told this story many times. And I said, now I'm a Saint, wrote it down, drew a photo of Nick Riewoldt kicking a goal, marked the date, the time, and then I was a Saint from that point on. Next day, got a membership, and I've been a member for the last 18, 19 years straight. So there you have it. There you have it, Sainters. That is Saints TV Weekly. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I wanted to put in a few of those media articles. I really don't like that stuff, and it needs to be addressed, and I don't think it's fair on the club. Adds unnecessary pressure to Brett Ratton and to the board and to the players, and it's just not on. We come head-to-head against Melbourne Sunday, 1:10, Mother's Day football at the MCG. Nothing better than that. Hopefully I'll be there and we can see a big response from our boys. I know that it was disappointing on the weekend the way we lost, but the game was there to be won and we missed a lot of shots, and that's really where I see it at the end of the day. Port didn't outplay us. They fought hard, and that's what Port, they do that. They've done that all year. But if we kick straight, the game's done at halftime. So, I think there's a big opportunity here to bounce back, and we've got nothing to lose against Melbourne. They have to lose at some point. They will not go this season unbeaten. I can't see them going unbeaten. They've won 14 straight, but at some point, it's going to have to come to an end, and hopefully it's on Sunday, the MCG against St Kilda. So I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you for watching. Please like the video if you enjoy these videos. Please comment your thoughts as well. I'd love to hear your opinions on everything. And most importantly, if you're watching this and you're a Saints fan, or you're not, and you enjoy what I do, please hit subscribe and join the army. I think we're over 3,400 now, 3,300. It's growing every day, and it's really exciting. I'm also on Instagram as well, Saints TV Pod, and Facebook under Saints TV. And the Saints TV podcast will be out on Tuesday night, so stay tuned for that as well. But until then, guys, enjoy the rest of your week, and as always, go you mighty Saints. See you guys.